This is the 12th lecture on the series of the presence of black people in the Bible. In this lecture, we shall focus on Hobab the Midianite, who was a wilderness expert. Midian was in the northeast Arabian Peninsula on the east shore of the Gulf of Aqaba on the Red Sea. Midianites were descendants of Abraham and Keturah, the second wife of Abraham. The Midianites worshipped the real God, Yahweh. Now the question is, who was Hobab? Let us read the book of Numbers 10, 29 to 34. Now Moses said to Hobab, the son of Ruel, the Midianite, Moses' father-in-law, we are setting out for the place of which the Lord said, I will give it to you. Come with us, and we will treat you well, for the Lord has promised good things to Israel. And he said to him, I will not go, but I will depart to my own land and to my relatives. Moses said, please do not leave, inasmuch as you know how we are to camp in the wilderness. And you can be our eyes. And it shall be, if you go with us, indeed, it shall be that whatever good the Lord will do to us, the same will do to you. Hobab was son of Jethro, the priest of Midian, and brother of Zipporah. Zipporah was the first and the only black woman in Bible history to circumcise a male person. Hobab was brother-in-law of Moses, uncle of Gershon and Eleazar, sons of Moses and Zipporah. Hobab knew Moses for 40 years. He knew that Moses had a special call to free Israel from Egyptian bondage. He had heard of the burning bush and of the voice that took place between God and Moses. Gershon and Eleazar, the sons of Moses, must have found a wise and helpful uncle in this man. It is always healthy for children to know that they have senior relatives that they trust with wisdom and guidance. Hobab knew the geography of the wilderness that Israel had to traverse on their journey to Canaan. Moses needed Hobab's knowledge of the wilderness and his expertise in locating a place where these former slaves had to camp on the journey to Canaan. In this verse, we see two dimensions of Moses' plea to Hobab. The first one is, please, do not leave us. The second one is, you will be as eyes for us. What do these words mean? Please, do not leave us. Moses is saying to Hobab, we have no knowledge or understanding of the wilderness. You are the only person who knows the logistics of life in the wilderness. If you leave us, we will perish in the wilderness. In this expression, you will be eyes for us in the wilderness. Moses is saying to Hobab, we cannot go because we can't reach the promised land. except we see the desert through your eyes, the desert through the eyes of a black man. There is danger and chaos in the wilderness. There are venomous snakes in the wilderness. There are wild animals in the wilderness. There are ruthless enemies in the wilderness. Moses says to Hobab, you have details about the wilderness that we know not. You cannot leave us alone. If you go, we will be left without a guide and an advisor. We will perish. The wilderness represents the kingdom of darkness with all its evils and dangers. Let's look at the second dimension again. You will be as eyes for us. Moses wanted Israel to see the wilderness through the eyes of this black man. The plea from Moses to Hobab was, be part of God's plan in the Exodus. Allow God to use you on our behalf. Be a leader with me. Lead us into the final departure from slavery. Oh my God. The Lord has instructed me to appoint you. That's what Moses is saying to Hobab. He says, the Lord has instructed me to appoint you into call leadership with me. Help us navigate our way through the wilderness. Here is it. You could be facing a precarious situation. Maybe your life is falling apart. Maybe your life is like a desert. I want to say to you today, you need to see the wilderness through the eyes of a black man. For too long, we've been looking at the desert through eyes of other people. But it's time for us to look at the desert through the eyes of a black man. Here are some of the pictures that we will talk about in our next lecture. Keturah, the second wife of Abraham, was black. Nimrod, the son of Cush, was black. As I close, once more, the Bible was written by black people.